أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وغشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين صدق الله العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. First ruku of Surah Yaseen, inshallah, every Sunday, with the permission of the committee and everyone and the interest of the brothers, mashallah. We've had some tafsir sessions in the first year as well. In between, everyone's been busy. So inshallah we should start this again every Sunday after Zuhr, not for too long, just 15-20 minutes. And this is what should be happening in the masjids anyway. If we can't do tafsir from the masjid, house of Allah, then there's no other place where we can discuss the Quran from or learn anything from the Quran or do tafsir. So tafsir nowadays, all the tafsirs are written in the books and everything. Nowadays is just pondering, contemplating, meditating on the verses, following the tafsirs of the pious predecessors. There's nothing new, and and then trying to implement all these things, the message of the Holy Quran and the surahs and the background of the surahs and everything into our lives and conveying it to others. So throughout the Holy Quran, Surah Yaseen holds a very special place and a very special role, within the entire message of the Holy Quran and within the entire life of the seerah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Because when Prophet ﷺ came, he came when he was full of darkness, full of ignorance, full of arrogance. People used to bury their daughters alive, and the people of Quraysh, they were so haughty, and they were so much into darkness that the rulers, emperors and empires around them, they never wanted to rule over them. So Allah's Prophet ﷺ used to worry a lot in Ghar-e Hira, in the cave of Hira. And even after he started his mission and dawah, Prophet ﷺ went through a lot of trial and tribulation with the Sahabas in Mecca. So now and then Prophet ﷺ used to face heavy difficulties, like we know the story of Taif, we know the 3 years boycotting situation, we know, they suffered hunger, they suffered poverty, they suffered sacrifice of their, time, money, wealth, body, family, houses, orchards, businesses and everything. To the extent that finally they had to migrate to Medina, leaving everything in Makkah behind. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in different surahs, different verses consoles the Prophet ﷺ that you don't need to worry, you do your bit and we shall reward you, and obviously there will be some people who will obey you and become truthful to your message, and the rest of them, if they have chosen the wrong path and if they have chosen the path of deviation and diversion, then we will also take them that way. In their records, in their destiny, within predestination, within their fate, in Lawh Mahfuz, it is already written that they're going to do like this, and they're going to be, disbelievers, and they're going to prefer disbelief and kufr over everything else. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts by saying, Surah Yaseen, this surah includes 83 verses and has been revealed in Makkah. And 1 or 2 verses in between, some Mufassirin say, they think that maybe a couple of verses have been revealed in Medina as well. But overall, the majority surah and the whole surah has been revealed in Makkah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts by saying Yaseen. And the scholars say that Yaseen is from Huruf Muqatta'at, just like Alif Lam Mim, Taha, Sin, Kafa, Ain, Swad. And nobody knows the meaning of Yaseen. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the meaning of Yaseen. And the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts off with these type of verses where the meaning is not known is to show the miracle side and the miraculous side, the mu'jiza, the exaltedness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His speech, and the mightiness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His speech, and the uniqueness as well. And to show the kuffar that, look, no human being can create a line or a sentence of Quran like this, or a speech like this. And Prophet ﷺ was ummi, he was unlettered, and the Arabs were also ummi and unlettered. Nobody wanted to rule over them, and there was no there was no education going in within them, there was no dawah going in within them. They were in total darkness. So there is no way any man could create a Quran or a verse or a surah like this. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Yaseen. According to other commentators, Yaseen could also be the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Malik rahmatullahi says that if Yaseen is the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala out of the 99 names, we should know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not only have 99 qualities in names, He has much more than that. Overall, majority, the average names are 99, which we know in the beginning of the Qaidas, Quran, Hadith and everything. Whoever memorizes 99 names with the meanings and tries to implement them in their life, the Jannah will be wajib upon them. Everyone knows the Hadith. The kids, they learn the 99 names. But apart from the 99 names, there are other qualities and names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, mentioned in Hadith, and one of them is Yaseen. That's why Imam Malik rahmatullahi, he says that if, just in case Yaseen is a unique name, special and exclusive to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's why we shouldn't keep the names of our children by the name of Yaseen. Others say that you can't keep the name of your children, you can keep Yaseen as names of your boys and children, because in the Quran there's a place where Allah Ta'ala mentions about Yasin, and Yasin and Yasin is the same thing. So some allow it, some don't allow it, depending on how the script or how the spelling is. Thirdly, this could be also the name of our beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala takes oath by the name of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam only in this place in the Holy Quran. There is no other place in the whole Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes many oaths and qasams, and by the token of time, wal asri, inna insana wal fajri, by the token of fajr, and so many other qasams in the Holy Quran. La uqsimu bihadha al-balad, by Makkah, Medina, Palestine, etc., etc. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes an oath or qasam, then that is to draw attention and attract attention towards the coming verses and the message which is after this phrase of qasam and phrase of oath and token taken by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this Surah Yaseen is also known as the heart of the Holy Quran. Likewise, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the heart of the whole creation. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That I have created mankind and jinkind only for worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and only for the sake and sole purpose of understanding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So likewise, everything has a heart. Without a heart, body can't function. A heartless body is no body. If the heart is okay, then body will be healthy and functioning. Likewise, the heart of the whole creation is Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in one hadith, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that I have created the world because of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, meaning that the person who has fulfilled the haqq of ibadah and worship is Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and because of creating the ruh and the soul of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam before everything else, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to create the skies and the heavens and the earth and the people, mankind and jinkind. This is from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also from the mercy of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I refer to many verses in the Holy Quran, many hadiths of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. Some of those hadiths are zaif and weak. If anyone says that, then the reply we can give them is that those hadiths that are weak, sometimes the meaning wise, the tafsir is sahih. So those hadiths which say laulaka ma khalaqtul aflaq, कि अगर आप ना होते तो ज़मीन आसमान पैदा ना होता. These words, if Prophet ﷺ wasn't born or not created, the asman, the seven heavens and earth would not be created. Only because of Rasulullah ﷺ, Allah created everything. So in many places, on line of line, many brothers, they will question this and dispute this. So the way we answer them is that, yes, we accept that the wording and the sanad and the narration, the chain, could be zaif, could be disputable. Muhaddisin dispute, so many things. There's nothing wrong in that. But the meaning wise, the ulama have accepted this. The meaning wise, maana ke taur par, tafsir, commentary wise, meaning wise, we accept this. This is part of our aqidah, that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is best of all the creation, and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was created even before Adam alayhi salatu wasallam was created. His ruh and soul was created, and then everything else was created, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written Prophet's name after his name on the arsh, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Adam alayhi salam's tawbah was accepted when he saw this on the arsh, and he said, oh Allah, through the name of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, accept my tawbah. Then only after 40 years or something, his tawbah was accepted, and then Hawa alayhi salam's tawbah was accepted. So Yasin, by the token of either huruf muqatta'at, nobody knows the meaning, or by the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or by the name of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wal Quran al-Hakim, and also by the name of the Holy Quran, which is full of wisdom, which is from the Hakim, from the wise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Innaka laminal mursaleen, and Beshak, because the kuffar were saying, you're a sorcerer, you're a magician, you're a liar, you're this, you're that. They were taunting the Prophet ﷺ, they were ridiculing the Prophet ﷺ, they were rejecting his message so much so that they said that, oh Muhammad ﷺ, if you want the girls of Arabia, we'll give them to you. If you want the sun and moon, if you want money, we'll give it to you. If you want gold and silver, we'll give it to you. Whatever you want, we'll give it to you. But please don't, preach Islam. Please don't say Allah is one. Our forefathers believed in so many, gods and statues. So we'll carry on like this. If that was bad, then, they would have been, punished or whatever. We never saw anything like this. This has been going on for centuries and generations. So we'll give you whatever you want. What did Prophet ﷺ say? Prophet ﷺ said that, O people of Arabia, and people of Quraysh, his own family, he said that if you can give me the sun on my right hand and the moon on my left hand, if you can give me the sun, Amar Dainatuar, Chandra Amar Bawato Dilaitavaru. If you can give me the sun on the right hand and the moon on the left hand and everything else in between to me in my possession, still I won't leave my message and dawah and teaching and preaching and tabligh, because this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made me the last prophet. He gave me the Holy Quran, and He sent me with a mission, and the mission has to be fulfilled and accomplished. So Innaka laminal mursaleen, to console Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O Prophet of Allah, don't worry. Innaka beshak, undoubtedly, without any doubt whatsoever, innaka laminal mursaleen, you are a prophet, you are a Rasul, you are a true messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the last of all the prophets and head of all the prophets. Ala sirati mustaqim, don't worry about your path and methodology, and don't worry if you're in doubt, or if people are not accepting your faith. In a different verse Allah ta'ala says, la'allaka bakhir nafsaka alla yakunu mu'minin, that are you going to kill yourself, and are you going to destroy yourself just because people are not bringing Islam? You're not a police. And that's for us as well, for the imams, the ulama, the preachers, the teachers. People get worried. Why aren't people coming to the mosque? Why aren't people accepting my message? Why aren't people sitting in tafseer? We get worried and frustrated ourselves. We studied all these years, and then people not turning up. Obviously it's supposed to be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and inshallah it is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like I mentioned a few Jummahs back, that a scholar, a preacher, famous scholar, Muhaddis in India, in Jami Masjid Delhi, he gave a lecture, and after the lecture everyone went happy and everything, and benefited from his lecture. And one person, as he was closing the door and the gates, one person came from far away, and he was traveling, and you can see the signs of travel on his clothes and everything. And he said, I've come from far away just to listen to your lecture, and now you're leaving the mosque. He said, lecture's over, we're all going, you should have come on time. So he saw his afsoos and remorse and everything. So then he came, then he said, I came all the way from far away, and now you're closing, and I have to go back. What's the point of me coming? I came to attend the lecture and everything. So Muhaddis said, okay, no problem. I'll open the gates for you. Come again, see in front of the mimbar. I'll see on the mimbar, and I'll go through the whole session exactly like I did before, 2-3 hours, whatever it was in those days, just for your sake. Just for you and for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you're going to do afsoos, and I feel sorry and I feel bad that you're going to miss the whole thing. You just come for this purpose. So he gave the whole lecture just like this, without any issue. And then they departed. People heard this and they said, Sheikh, there was no need to do this. We could have recorded it, we could have spoken with him, we could have, we could have done something else. You didn't have to open the mosque all over again and just sit with him alone in the mosque and go through the whole lecture beginning to end. So what did he reply? He replied that the person for whom, I delivered the lecture and the sermon before in front of millions of people in Jummah, in the famous mosque in Delhi, Jami Masjid Delhi, made by Aurangzeb and everyone, King Aurangzeb, Bacha Aurangzeb, famous mosque, historical mosque. The person who I did it for, Even now I'm doing it for the same person. People have gone, but the Creator is still here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is still here. So at that time I done it for Allah. Even now I will do it for Allah. And if somebody comes after a few days again, I'll do it for Allah as well. Now, my whole life is supposed to be for Inna salati wa nusuki mahyaya wa mati. My life, my namaz, my roza, my zakat, my qurbani, my sacrifice, my death, everything should be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for pomp and show and name and fame and quantity and numbers. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks for quality. Many of these prophets, they will stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone completely. They'll have no ummati, no follower whatsoever. Prophet ﷺ will have the most of the followers, but still they will become yab, they will be successful, they will be accepted by Allah, they're going to go to Jannah. Likewise, many sahabas, many ulama, many mashayikh, many awliya, they had no followers. They were given trouble in the world, they had no followers, and no murids, nothing, no students. They'll stand up alone as well, and they'll go to Jannah inshallah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to the Prophet ﷺ that your job, you're not a police, ma anta alayhim bi musaytir, lasta alayhim bi musaytir. You're not a police, ab daroga nahi hai, apna daroga na hai. You're not a police, your job is just to convey the message. You can't force people to Islam. Different verses, la ikraha fi din, in Ayatul Kursi, after Ayatul Kursi. La ikraha fi din, that there's no compulsion in din. Din Islam is a kunuz razurina. Ze aibar auka, ze aibar zauka, ze buibar bauka, kunuz razurina. After 18 years, the kids, you can't tell them, you can't force them to pray. After 18 years, they're free. So even in Islam, we have to teach them to pray at the age of 7, get them used to prayer at the age of 10. And after 10, they should be used to it. And it depends on the teaching of the masjid, maktab, and also the home environment as well. So Prophet ﷺ, again and again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is consoling him that don't worry, you are on the truth, you have been sent by us. Your message is divine from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are on the haqq, you are the last prophet. Our help and assistance and nusra is with you all the way, all through Makkah, Medina, all through his life. Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam came down so many times, to console him. So, innaka laminal mursaleen, innaka ala sirati mustaqim, you are on the right path. Tanzeel al-Azizir Rahim, this Quran has come down from a Lord who has the full power to punish the rejectors, Rahim, and he also has the full power to be merciful, in Akhirah to those who are going to go to Jannah, those who accepted and obeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who truly submitted and surrendered to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Litunzira, because the word Aziz is for the kuffar and Rahim is for the Muslims. Litunzira qawman ma unzira abahum fahum ghafilun. Why have I sent you after 500 years of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam? 25th of December, the program is normally up and down the country regarding the life of Isa alayhi salam. So after Isa alayhi salatu salam, the time period that went between till Prophet alayhi salam's time in Makkah, this time is called Zamana Fatrat. This time ko, is muddat ko, this ishomare ko is Zamana Fatrat. Fatrat means the time between Isa alayhi salam and Prophet alayhi salam, around about 500 years. Ishomare kuno no prophet came. Because no prophet came, no messenger came, no preacher came, no teacher came. There were deputies, and there were small,
600
about between 500 to 600 years. So there were, teachers and preachers from different cities and towns and villages, and people disobeyed them. In Surah Yaseen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about 3 people who came to in the second ruku, the Habib Najjar and his people. They were sent for dawah, and they were troubled, they were killed. And then a third person, he was a very pious person, he came to support their dawah, these 2 people, and he said that, look, these people are not asking for money and wages. These people are not asking for anything. They're not asking for any gold or silver, nothing. They're just coming just for the sake of Allah, sake of Akhirah, just to show you the right path, nothing else. They're going house to house just to bring you to the masjid, nothing else. Why trouble them? Why be rude to them? Why be bad to them? You don't want to accept, don't accept. But don't be troublesome, don't be provocative, don't reject them in a way that you don't accept the message yourself, and you don't let others benefit as well. You don't want to benefit yourself, no problem, there's no force. But stop throwing objections and obstacles in the path of dawah. So they killed him as well, the third person. When they killed him, in the second para, what did he say? He said, وَمَا لِيَ لَا عَبْدُ الَّذِي فَطَرَنِي وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. Then he said, Ya layta qawmi ya'lamun. Oh, kash ke afsos. He said, alas, if only the people knew, bima ghafara li rabbi wa ja'alani min al-mukramin. If only the people knew why Allah Ta'ala forgave me and why He honored me so much in this world, and now He's making me shaheed and martyr just because they're not understanding the message. If only they knew and saw the reality, and if their mind was clear, then they would have also accepted the message, and they would not behave like this. So, لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا مَا أُنذِرَ, this period of 600 years, Because of this, people fell back into darkness, into deviation, diversion, into gumrahi, ignorance and arrogance. People buried their daughters alive, etc., etc. All evil was happening. And their forefathers, their ancestors were not reminded or warned at all. فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ, they became neglectful and mindful. لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Some people will accept your message, but the majority of the people, or many people, they will be so stubborn and so haughty and so strong on their deviation, on their kufr, on their rejection, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also written for them that they are to go to Jahannam forever and ever. فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, they will not believe. إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا فِي أَعْنَاقِهِمْ أَغْلَالًا. What have we done because of their kufr, because of their rejection, because of the stubbornness, because of their decision? They have not been forced to go into kufr or Jahannam or the fire of hell. And the issue of taqdeer, many people ask me online and offline that, how is it that we have free will, free choice? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written everything down, we're going to go to Jannah, that means, wherever we're going to go till we go to Jannah is written. If someone's going to go to the fire of hell, Allah ta'ala save us, that means everything's written. And of course we believe وَالْقَدْرِ خَيْرِهِ وَشَرِّهِ مِنَ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. Taqdeer, destiny, fate, everything is written in Lawh Mahfuz. So if everything is written, ishkal hota hai ki if everything is written, then how are we not forced? We are majboor. It looks like technically we are majboor. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers this in many verses, and also in Surah Yaseen, and Prophet answers this as well, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us free will. He's given us intellect. He's given us, whether I want to come for Zohar today or not, whether I want to do tafsir or not, it's my decision. Well, after I make this decision, then Allah Ta'ala will write it down in the books of taqdeer, even though the actual answer is already written. In the books of Aqidah, we have studied, back in the days, that there's two types of taqdeer. One taqdeer is suspended, temporary taqdeer, and one taqdeer and destiny is the actual permanent taqdeer. Now, when a person wakes up in the morning, he decides, shall I go for Fajr or not? If shaitan and nafs comes over him, when you do wuzu, 3 knots are tied. Shaitan ties 3 knots on the person. When you do wuzu, then 1 knot is gone. When you pray salah, sunnah, the other knot is gone. When you pray the first, then all 3 knots are gone. And shaitan says that, I have no control over him the whole day because he's prayed Fajr. Allah Ta'ala says that if you pray Fajr in Jama'ah or at least at home, then Allah Ta'ala, he's under the care of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So whether I should come for Fajr or not, whether I should come or not, I make the decision. We make the decision. Whether we want to come for Jummah or not, we make the decision. Allah doesn't make the decision until we make the decision. We decide, I'm not feeling well today, I'm not going to go today. I'll call the boss up and say, I'm not coming today. I make the decision. We make the decision. Because there's so many people ill, they still turn up to work because they understand the importance of work and money. There's so many people, ill and far away, they still come to Fajr. Bari Park Masjid, we've seen all our life, and Jalalabad, old people, elderly people with white beards and chadar only, not even a coat. They're walking from a mile away just for Fajr, and even for us, knowledgeable people, we feel shameful to see them, you say anything, first of all they'll call you regarding Fajr, that why are you not here in Fajr? We are Jahil people, we come here for Fajr, why are you not here in Fajr? You have the whole Quran in your heart, whole knowledge in your, bosoms, etc. And you do big taqreers and lecture, and Fajr time you're not here, only the old people are here. Fajr is for everyone. So we make the decision whatever we're going to do. You want to steal, you want to murder, it's bad, you don't want to do it, but you've overcome, your nafs has overcome you, your shaitan has overcome you, your society, peer pressure but you can't blame them. You have made the final, it's bad, but you've made a decision. After we have made that temporary decision, then Allah Ta'ala does not take us into account for that. When we made proper pakka decision, permanent decision, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala writes our name in the permanent taqdeer, and then we commit the act of murder, then we are sinful, or we come to Fajr or Masjid or Jummah and we have been rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that basically is 50-50. We're not completely majboor, and we know everything's not Allah Ta'ala's fault as well. Okay? Partially Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is responsible, and partially we are also responsible. Because there used to be 2 deviated groups before in the olden days. One group was Jabariya, one was Qadariya. Qadariya, they rejected taqdeer. They said there's no fate. We do everything by our own will. And Jabariya, they said we are majboor. These are they're both kafir. They said we are majboor, we are tied, we are forced by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything's written. What can we do? Abu Talib, before he passed away, he said, I prefer Jahannam and Shirk. When Prophet ﷺ said, oh uncle, just say La ilaha illallah, I'll do the rest. Just say half of the kalma. Abu Jahl said, don't say the kalma. Today if you say the kalma, then we're going to be humiliated. We people of great nation, we're Quraysh, we're this, we're that. We're leaders, and you're a leader as well. How can you just change your religion because of your Batija, because of your nephew? And he died on that. It's in Bukhari as well. And the verse came down, إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ. O Rasulullah, you can't guide people who you like and love. We guide people who we wish and who we decide. And in a different verse, Allah Ta'ala says that we will definitely guide those who strive and struggle in our path, my unib, and those who show interest and talab. And we will misguide those who we wish. So we can't really blame Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala at all. It's our decision. So Tanzih, somebody, there's people that say, I didn't come to Jummah Salah for 3 months, because of the Imam or whatever. So if you don't come for Jummah Salah 3 Jummahs, that's enough for you to be in the books of hypocrisy, let alone 3 months. 3 Jummah is enough. And if I come for Jummah, it's my benefit. If somebody else comes for Jummah, it's his benefit. If you don't come for Jummah for 3 weeks or 3 months, that's got nothing to do with the Imam or Allah or anyone. It's your loss. It's your loss. You've lost out. You've gone into the bad books. Whether the Imam comes or not, whether you like the Imam or not, whether, we come to prayer in masjid for Allah's sake. So, everything should be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No name and fame, nothing else, no pomp and show. So finishing off inshallah. لَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ. So إِنَّا جَعَلْنَا فِي أَعْنَاقِهِمْ أَغْلَالًا. So these people who are permanently kuffar and mushrikeen and munafiqeen, permanently they're going to Jahannam forever and ever. And that's what they chose. And after them choosing, then Allah Ta'ala chose it for them as well. And Allah Ta'ala took them more deeper into hell as well. So inna ja'alna fi a'naqihim. Verily we have put iron collars and on their necks, fahiya ila al-azqan, which through which their hands and everything is all tied up upwards, and fahum muqmahun, and their heads are raised. They cannot see properly upwards and they cannot see properly downwards. And waja'alna min bayni aydihim saddan wa min khalfihim saddan. Saddan means a wall, a barrier full of darkness. And secondly, what we've done is that we've caused a restriction and a barrier. We've thrown a barrier and restriction in front of them and behind them, all around. فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ. We've made them blind. فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. They cannot see. وَسَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنذَرْتَهُمْ. O Prophet of Allah, whether you convey your message or not, whether you warn them or not, whether you give them glad tidings or not, whether you preach or teach or not, فِتْرَ بُزُوكَ نَا بُزُوكَ. Aap samjhaye ya na samjhaye, لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Wo iman nahi laenge. They will not bring belief. These are two examples. The examples could be in this world, and the examples could be metaphorical as well, and the examples could be real in Akhirah as well. We can include both. The Mufassirin have included both. In the world, it means that they have gone astray, they have gone deeper into ignorance and arrogance. Allah Ta'ala is upset with them, Prophet ﷺ is upset with them, and khatam Allahu ala qulubihim, all the holes and all the areas, all the windows of guidance, their heart has been sealed, their internal eyes, spiritual eyes have been closed, all their senses have been closed, they can't see anything at all. Go around, brother, that way. So, and in Akhirah, they'll go into the fire of hell. إِنَّمَا تُنْزِلُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الذِّكْرَ. Who are those people who believe, who receive hidayah? कौन ईमान ले आते हैं, कौन मानते हैं? खे कुरान ख़ुतमान होए. इन्नमा तुन्ज़िरु मन इत्तबा ज़िक्र ग़शिय रहमान. Verily, your nasiha, O Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, will only benefit those people. Only those people will adhere to your message and will obey you. Man ittaba al-dhikra, who do ittiba of the Holy Quran. Zikr means Quran. Who follow the Holy Quran in practicality. Wa khashiya ar-Rahmana bil ghaib, and they fear the Lord without seeing the Lord. Iman bil ghaib. Fabashshirhu bi maghfiratin wa ajrin kareem. So if they do these two things, they follow the Quran, practically pondering and contemplating upon the meaning and tafsir, wa khashya rahman, and they fear their Lord without seeing him, fabashirhu bi maghfirah, give them glad tidings and good tidings of eternal forgiveness, wa ajrin kareem, and source of eternal dignity and respect in akhirah, and plenty reward in akhirah, and plenty provision in Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq. Wa akhiru dawana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. اللهم آمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم فقهنا في الدين. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا فهما كاملا رزقا واسعا حلالا وشفاء من كل داء. اللهم فقهنا في الدين. اللهم علمنا الكتاب والحكمة. اللهم اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة. اللهم ذكرنا من القرآن ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وآناء النهار واجعله لنا حجة يا رب العالمين ولا علينا. وصلى الله تبارك وتعالى خير خلق سيدنا نبينا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين برحمتك يا رب. Inshallah every Sunday after Zuhr.